Hi there friends, and welcome to a Disney Princess special storytime tent today with beautiful Rapunzel. And here is our Rapunzel figure, and she is from my Busy Books, which you'll find on another one of my videos, so please subscribe to the channel and check it out. Anyway, we are joined today by Gingy, of course. Hi Gingy. Hello. And Shy Blue Dino. Say hello to the children. Hello. And of course, Big Cuddly Teddy. So, today's amazing, beautiful adventure about Rapunzel is called Tangled. You may have heard of it, or you may not have heard of it. But either way, shall we get right into the story? It's so magical. Are you sitting comfy? Then I will begin. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, a single drop of sunlight fell to the earth and grew into a magical flower. This flower was found by an old woman who discovered that singing released its magical powers. Being vain and selfish, this woman, called Mother Gothel, kept the flower a secret and for centuries used it to restore her youth and beauty. Many hundreds of years after the flower was first discovered, the queen of the kingdom was about to have a baby. However, she fell gravely ill, and the townspeople were sent to look for the magical flower that was rumoured to be somewhere in the kingdom. With so many people looking for it, the flower was quickly found, and much to Mother Gothel's horror, the plant was uprooted and taken back to the castle. A potion was quickly created and given to the queen, who instantly recovered and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, who they called Rapunzel. The baby's proud parents then launched a lantern into the sky to celebrate the princess' birth. That night, desperate to recover her youth, Mother Gothel crept into the nursery upon finding out the magic was in Rapunzel's hair. She snipped some off, but turned brown and lost its magic. It was then the evil woman decided to kidnap the princess and take her far away. The king and queen were heartbroken, and each year on Rapunzel's birthday they released lanterns into the sky, hoping their lost daughter would see them and return home. Mother Gothel took Rapunzel to a high tower, hidden in a valley, and brought her up to believe she was a real mother. The outside world is a dangerous place, she'd often say, and convinced the princess to remain in the tower in order to protect her hair. Wow. Luckily, Rapunzel found lots of things to do, such as knitting, jigsaws, playing guitar, and painting. Though as she approached her 18th birthday, she longed for a life outside the tower. One day, Rapunzel was talking to her mother. "I want to travel to see floating lights," she said. "They appear every year on my birthday. I have to know what they are." Mother Gothel lied and said they were simply stars and nothing very special. She then left the tower top home to go and fetch some food for that night's dinner. Meanwhile, in another part of the forest, a thief named Flim Rider was on the run with his partners in crime, the Stabbington brothers. They had stolen a crown from the king and queen, and their faces were on a wanted posters throughout the land. Suddenly the palace guards found them. Flynn decided to ditch the two brothers, but made sure he took the bag containing the crown with him. Though Flynn escaped the guards, he couldn't escape Maximus, one of the palace's horses. Maximus chased Flynn to a tree that hung over the edge of a cliff. Crack! The trunk, unable to take their weight, broke away from the ground, and the pair of them fell into the valley. Both of them survived the fall, but Flynn was able to escape from the persistent horse. Worried Maximus would find him again, Flynn looked for a place to hide and soon came across an enormous tower. He quickly climbed to the top and jumped inside through an open window. "Alone at last," he said, relieved. Suddenly everything went black. Rapunzel had hit Flynn on the head with a frying pan. Flynn was out cold. Though she was scared, Rapunzel felt excited too. Surely Mother Gothel would let her explore the outside world now she could prove she was able to look after herself. Wanting to surprise her mother with this news, Rapunzel dragged Flynn across the floor and hid him inside the cupboard. Rapunzel then noticed something shining inside Flynn's bag. She looked inside and saw the crown. She slowly took it out and placed it on her head. As she looked in the mirror, something about the crown seemed very familiar. Just then her mother shouted, "Rapunzel, let down your hair!" Rapunzel swiftly hid the crown before letting her mother climb up. Once her mother was inside, Rapunzel said, "There's something I want to tell you." "I hope you're not talking about the stars," replied Mother Gothel. "I'm leading up to that," said Rapunzel, inching towards the cupboard. "Enough with the lights," Rapunzel shouted Mother Gothel. "You're not leaving this tower, ever." Rapunzel was shocked. She now knew she had to send her mother away if she was ever going to see the lights. So, she asked for some paint as a birthday present, knowing it could only be found far away. Mother Gothel happily agreed. "I'll be back in 3 days' time," she said. How very clever. With Mother Gothel gone, Rapunzel put her plan into action. She let Flynn out of the wardrobe and tied him up using her hair. When he woke up, Rapunzel told Flynn she'd let him go, only if he helped her. Pointing to her painting of the floating lights, Rapunzel said, "Tomorrow they will light the night sky. You will act as my guide, take me to see them and return me home safely. Then I'll return your satchel to you." Flynn had no choice but to agree. So Rapunzel lowered Flynn down with her hair and then climbed down herself. Though she hesitated at first, Rapunzel was so excited to finally be outside the tower for the first time she could remember. However, she was also full of sadness for betraying her mother. "Let's just turn around," suggested Flynn, hoping he could get the bag back without having to do anything. "No," replied Rapunzel firmly. "I am seeing those lanterns." Elsewhere in the forest, as she was on her way to collect Rapunzel's paint, Mother Gothel saw Maximus without his rider. Worried the horse's owner might find Rapunzel, she hurried home, but no one was there. What she did find was the crown and Flynn's wanted poster. Knowing exactly who had taken her prized possession, she went into the forest to hunt them down. As Mother Gothel searched for Rapunzel, she bumped into the Stabbingtons and offered them a deal. "It comes with revenge on Flynn Rider," she added. The two brothers grinned menacingly and readily agreed to help Mother Gothel with her evil scheme. In a different part of the forest, Rapunzel was wrapping her hair around Flynn's hand, which he'd just cut on a rock. "Don't freak out," she said, before singing sweetly to her hair. It started to glow, and within moments, Flynn's hand was healed. "How long has your hair been doing that?" asked Flynn. Rapunzel told him all about her magical hair and her life up to now. "You never left that tower," said Flynn, who was starting to understand why this trip was so important to Rapunzel. As Flynn searched for firewood, a voice spoke to Rapunzel from the shadows. "I thought he'd never leave." It was Mother Gothel. "We're going home now." But Rapunzel refused to go. She confessed to liking Flynn and that she thought he'd like her too. "Why would he like you?" asked Mother Gothel, laughing. "This is why he's here," she added, passing the crown to Rapunzel. "Don't let him deceive you." Mother Gothel dared Rapunzel to give Flynn the crown, telling her he would leave as soon as he had it back. Then she headed back into the dark depths of the forest. When Flynn returned, Rapunzel said nothing of her conversation with Mother Gothel. The next morning, Flynn was rudely awakened. Maximus had found him and grabbed the thief by the foot. "Let go!" shouted Flynn. Just then Rapunzel appeared. She begged Maximus to stop chasing Flynn, as today was her birthday and he was taking her to see the lanterns. The horse reluctantly agreed. "You're such a big sweetheart," Rapunzel said to Maximus. Moments later, a bell rang in the distance. Rapunzel followed the sound and soon, looking up at the castle that overlooked the whole kingdom, it was a breathtakingly beautiful view. In seconds, she had run across the bridge and made her way inside. As she explored the kingdom, Rapunzel met some children who offered to plait her hair. A little while later, she became mesmerised by a mosaic on the wall. It was of the king and queen holding a baby girl. "It's the lost princess," explained a young boy. Rapunzel stared closer at the baby's emerald green eyes. They were just like her own. A few hours later, Flynn took Rapunzel out on a boat. From out on the lake, the pair had the best view of the kingdom. Soon, lanterns began to float out of the castle and up in the air. Rapunzel's heart soared. The view was as beautiful as she always hoped it would be. Turning back to Flynn, the princess passed him the bag. She knew Mother Gothel was wrong, and that he wouldn't leave her once he had the crown. As all the lanterns floated away, Flynn spotted the Stabbington brothers on the shore, and without telling Rapunzel why, quickly rowed them back to the land. "There's something I have to take care of," he told Rapunzel. "I'll be right back." Flynn took the bag with him, and on meeting the brothers gave them the crown. He was giving up his thieving ways so he could be with Rapunzel. However, the brothers knew about the magic hair and wanted it for themselves. Flynn tried to fight them off, but was knocked unconscious and tied up in a boat that was sent sailing into the harbour. As Rapunzel waited for Flynn, the brothers appeared from the shadows. They told her Flynn had left on the boat with the crown. Upset and fearing for her life, Rapunzel ran, but before she got very far, she heard the sounds of a scuffle, then a voice. "Rapunzel!" It was Mother Gothel. Rapunzel ran back and saw the two brothers at Mother Gothel's feet. They'd been knocked out. The princess ran to her mother, tears in her eyes. "You were right, Mother," said Rapunzel as they headed home. "You were right about everything." On board the boat, Flynn, who was now awake, had been spotted by the palace guards and was about to be taken prisoner. However, Maximus, who had seen the whole thing, rescued Flynn before he could be hurt. Believing Rapunzel was in trouble, the pair hurried up to her tower-top home. Now back in the tower, Rapunzel was looking at a flag she'd found on her visit to the castle. On the flag was the symbol of the kingdom. It was then Rapunzel realised she'd been unknowingly painting the same symbol around the walls of her home her entire life. Suddenly images flashed through her mind of the lanterns, the mosaic of the lost princess, and finally the crown on her head. It was then Rapunzel realised the shocking truth. "I'm the lost princess," she said to Mother Gothel angrily. "Everything I did was to protect you," said Mother Gothel, desperately trying to justify what she had done. "I will never let you use my hair again," cried Rapunzel, pushing her mother into a mirror, sending bits of broken glass everywhere. However, as Rapunzel tried to leave, Mother Gothel moved threateningly towards her. Outside, Flynn and Maximus had arrived at the tower. "Rapunzel, let down your hair! Rapunzel, let down your hair!" called Flynn. There was no reply. He was beginning to wonder if she was even up there. When Rapunzel's hair fell from the window, Flynn quickly climbed up. As he hopped inside from the window ledge, he saw Rapunzel was tied up in a chair. Suddenly, Mother Gothel stabbed Flynn in the back before placing chains on the wounded man. She then dragged the princess across the floor to a trapdoor that led outside, but Rapunzel resisted. "For every minute of my life I will fight. I will never stop trying to get away from you," she cried. "But if you let me save him, I will go with you, I promise." Mother Gothel sneered, but accepted Rapunzel's offer. Rapunzel rushed to Flynn's side, hoping she wasn't too late to save him. As he gasped in agony, she started to wrap her hair around his wound. "I can't let you do this," said Flynn, who suddenly snatched a piece of broken glass and cut off Rapunzel's hair. It instantly turned brown. With no magic left to sustain her, Mother Gothel started turning to dust, then tripped and stumbled out of the window. With her hair no longer magical, Rapunzel had no way of saving Flynn's life. As his head dropped back, she knew he was gone. A single tear fell from her face and onto Flynn's cheek. Suddenly, the tear began to glow, and golden light covered Flynn's wound, healing him completely. His eyes opened slowly. "Rapunzel," said Flynn. "Did I ever tell you I've got a thing for brunettes?" He was alive and confident as ever. The two hugged and shared their first kiss. Quicker than he'd ever galloped before, Maximus took Rapunzel and Flynn straight to the castle. There, the princess was reunited with her parents after 18 long years. Rapunzel felt her parents' love all around her as they embraced for the first time since she was a baby. They were a family once again. The entire kingdom rejoiced at the return of the princess and threw a party to celebrate. Hundreds of glowing lanterns were released into the air, their light having finally guided Rapunzel home. Through finding each other, Flynn and Rapunzel had found everlasting love, and they both lived happily ever after. The end. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful story. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining the Storytime tent today for this wonderful Disney princess story. And don't forget to subscribe for many more amazing stories. Have a lovely, wonderful day.